Welcome to another episode of Core Discussions. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Jay.
And welcome this week as we review the NFL season, regular season as a whole. We're going to go through our predictions, see how good or bad they were. For me, they weren't great. Gentlemen, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to start off with NFC South. Everybody got the winner of the NFC South wrong. Everybody but me picked the Saints. I was the only one, and I had the worst pick because I picked the Panthers.
Ew. I did have the Buccaneers as the worst team, so that was dead wrong. Oh, man. I had the Panthers at 7 landing. I was very optimistic about Bryce Young. I was foolish.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I guarantee you next season I will have the Panthers dead last. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, you all had them second. You all had them second. Panthers second. I underestimated how putrid that offense was because I thought they should have Miles Sanders. They would do a lot of screens with Bryce Young. The checkdowns, and I thought the defense was going to be better than one. The defense would hold them into games, which the defense was good. The offense, I didn't see that they were going to have one of the worst offenses of all time.
Well, what we did nail, which it wasn't a very hard prediction, but we all nailed it, that this division would be the worst in football, and it was. So we got that back.
Yeah.
No faith.
I did have the Saints winning the division at 10-7. I wasn't too far off, but the Saints to me have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. If they're going to make playoffs, it would have been this year. So if I was a Saints fan, I'd be real pessimistic about next season.
Yep.
Yeah. And Arthur Smith, he's out of here.
Yeah, so far,
You see it? Yeah, man. He Arthur Smith, modern day Jeff Fisher. Get you 7
Yeah,
wins.
it's 7 wins each year.
Yep.
7-10 consistent, and he had the 8th pick every year, I believe I read. He's consistent. That's exactly what you're going to get.
Max, can you quickly read off how that division ended?
Do you have to?
Well, we had Bucks, who were division winner, 9-8. Saints second, 9-8. Falcons 7-10. Panthers 2-15.
Yep.
Impressive.
So I did have the Saints second, so I was correct in their placement. And I had the Falcons third, so I was correct. It was the 1 and 4, I just needed to flip.
Yeah, I have.
You picked the worst team in the league, win the division. That's rough.
Yeah. So based off the criteria that we had, technically, if we were going by like placements, I was the most correct because I was the only one who got 2 of the 4 placements correct.
Yeah,
We're going by that. All right. So I won the NFC South because I got the most placements right.
Congratulations.
All right. Let's go into the next division that we got just completely wrong. We're just going to go over to the AFC partner. We're going to go into the AFC South.
Bro, I don't think I got any.
Well,
I didn't get a single placement right.
Well, how about that MVP, huh?
Yeah, we're not going to there yet. I just reach for the stars, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Year.
before we get started in the division, I think the division overall was better than what we thought.
Yeah.
Because we thought there was only be one competitive team. We thought it'd be Jacksonville, and they were pretty competitive for the most part until the end. But Houston, we didn't see coming. I had them with 6 wins.
I had them at 6 as well. I had Colts at 4 wins. I think Jacksonville's on fraud alert now.
Well, this is definitely going to be make or break for Doug Peterson this next year, and for Lawrence's leg or for his reputation next year is must.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was terrible that last game.
But he did have a lot of bad breaks throwing the ball to Calvin Ridley. It was close to a lot of touchdowns, but I'm sure a lot of other quarterbacks were too. So
it wouldn't be the AFC South without Team blowing the division lead in the last game. Tennessee did it last year. I think the Colts. The Colts lost like a wild card spot.
Yeah.
At the last game.
They lost because the last game. Yeah, they lost.
So 3 years in a row, like somebody screwed up their playoff shot in the last game.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence the last couple games was right. I don't know. It just seemed like something was off.
I did think he was mean.
There, I think he was more injured than they let us be. Granted, again, he still played, so it's on you. You still got.
We ripped Baker 2 years ago when he played on a bad shoulder. Actually, that was his non-throwing shoulder anyway. But still, you play. I got to judge you by how you play. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can regroup, bounce back next year.
The division is Houston 10-7, Jacksonville 9-8, Colts 9-8, and then Tennessee Titans 6-11.
Tennessee, so no one had a single thing right on this. No one had anything. Good Lord, this is rough.
I didn't get anybody's record right. I didn't get none.
No, this was rough.
I wasn't close on any of these.
Yeah, I didn't see the Titans having as big a fall as they did. So this was the up in the air division, man.
Since we're talking about the division, Derrick Henry, what a legend. We love another 1,000-yard, 10-touchdown season. We
Future Hall of
only need
Famer.
498 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns to be in the 10,000 rushing and 100 rushing touchdown club. Hall of Fame.
And since the Titans are
Good job.
morons and got rid of Vrabel, you know they're going for a rebuild, so Henry is definitely going.
He's going to Baltimore, Philly, Jacob.
Yeah. All right. So the winners of that would be D3 and the Mountain because they both had the Colts third. So
All right.
congratulations.
Yeah.
You clearly won because you got one.
Yeah.
I do want to mention for the Colts, I was impressed with Shane Steichen's coaching job because getting an injury to your starting quarterback and winning 9 games, they were almost, if they won that last game, they would have been in the playoffs, so they were that close. So I do think it should be commended, and I think it's looking like he may be the brains to that Eagles offense, and we'll discuss that more when we get to my team, but he's looking like a good hire. And honestly, also, I should mention the good hire, D'Amico Ryans for Texans. So, and I still think Doug Peterson's a good coach. So I think AC South is going to start trending up here and be one of the better divisions because they got good coaches. Most of them got good quarterbacks. We'll see on Anthony Richardson. He looked pretty decent. So we'll see. Tennessee is going to take probably a few years to kind of rebuild that team, but they got a promising young quarterback. Will Levis looked better than a lot of people thought coming in.
Yeah, they're going to be interesting just without Derrick Henry. So who you get to put in that void.
Well,
but
they drafted Tajay Spears in the 3rd or 4th round, something like that.
Yeah.
So he's clearly going to be the guy for next year.
I was going to say, that's just a lot to replace because how good Derrick Henry was for so long. And you're right, because, I mean, like we said, Trevor Lawrence had that comment of he was a little upset. He's like, I hope this division sucked, man. I was trying. He was very truthful about it. He's like, I hope this division sucked, man. I was trying to be good.
It's true. It's just real. Why would you want the division to be harder for yourself? Why?
Yeah, he's like, I was hoping this one would suck and I could win easily. I'm like,
but that just shows his loser's mentality, and that's why he wasn't your MVP this year. You know, somebody will say that.
Yeah, somebody probably. But yeah, CJ Stroud, Panthers. Pick ain't looking so great. Also, with them, they made playoffs with also losing arguably what I think is their best receiver in Tank Dell.
I don't know if he's their best receiver, but he's really good.
Brandon, I might have some bias because he was on my fantasy team, so I have some bias. But they have a good receiving core with Nico did well, Schultz did well, Tank Dell, who hopefully comes back from injury all right. Solid team that, nobody saw it. The Will Anderson, their defense was on point. I mean, he was making a good push for Coach of the Year, D'Amico Ryans. Nobody saw that. So proving once again that Shanahan coaching tree. Maybe every team needs to just start, forget everybody else. Just steal from there. Take from there.
Not a bad idea.
We're going to go into our next division. Let's go ahead, get this one out of the way. Another one I did bad on. AFC West. So everybody got the winner except for me, right? Because I swung so hard on the Chargers.
I did that last year and it bit me, so I knew not to do that.
Let me read the division standings while we're here. So the Chiefs won it 11-6. Raiders 2nd, 8-9. Denver 3rd, 8-9. Chargers 5-12. And I think the most surprising thing to me I guess the Chargers would be, because we all thought they'd be better. But the Raiders being 8-9, that's a lot better than I thought they would be. And I credit that to Antonio Pierce because we saw this team with Josh McDaniels, and you look at the difference between them. They weren't even competitive with McDaniels. I don't know how good they'll be next year because Aiden O'Connell's not it either. So they're going to have to figure that out. And maybe Jim Harbaugh's coming because that's another rumor. But I think they should stick with Pierce.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he got that team to play. I mean, they put up 70 points at one game.
And honestly, this division as a whole, supremely disappointing. Supremely disappointing. Even the Chiefs at 11-6. Nobody's really talking about them going to Super Bowl. I mean, of course they could because, you get Mahomes. But, this doesn't feel like a Super Bowl team. So
there's a question if they're going to get out of the first round.
Man, I really wanted to see the Chiefs do a road game to see how Mahomes will do in the playoff road game.
No, but if he gets past this round, most likely he's going on the road.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be very interesting with what all happens next. Chiefs, they have a lot to work on. I mean, their receivers, those drops, who? And this was a question that was asked at the beginning of the year on the podcast was their receiving core ain't great, Travis Kelce seems to have lost a step. Teams go through this that you can't be good forever. Sooner or later, things just don't fall your way. a lot of luck goes into it. That's why I said Mahomes is not going to win 7 straight Super Bowls, like some people were trying to say. Like, luck falls your way, people get old, you got to rebuild the team.
I think their defense is really good. I do think if they get some receivers, I would expect them to be better next year because I expect them to get more offensive weapons. So I think this may be your 1-year break from them going to Super Bowl because I would imagine they could possibly be back next year. For the Chargers, though, Justin Herbert, much like Trevor Lawrence, if he has another losing season, he's going to have to answer some these fraud allegations are going to crop up.
We're going to have some
because he has not had.
Yeah.
So that means 3 of the 4 years you've had losing records. If he has another one next year,
might be his 5th year.
Well, whatever it is, he's only had 1 winning season. So if he has another losing season next year with a new coach and a new running back, they'll improve that, I'm sure. But I'm just saying, he's really good. But these elite quarterbacks should be winning these games.
Yeah, I also think he's part of the curse of being a Chargers quarterback. You know, you can put up great numbers, but somehow your team always sucks.
There's been so many times throughout the Rivers time.
Didn't they lose to the Raiders too last game of the season?
Yeah.
Last year, yes.
Yeah.
And the funny thing with that is the Raiders were trying to tie the game, but the Chargers coach called a timeout. So the Raiders okay, we'll kick it anyway.
Because if they would have both gone to playoffs, the Raiders didn't care. Yep. They're like, whatever, we're both going to playoffs. Let's just not do anything.
Well, there's a reason Brandon Staley was fired. Talk about a overhyped coach. Some people are just better as defensive, offensive coordinators, and he looks like one of them because this team never improved. They looked the same every year he was there.
Hey,
well, and the defense
there has to be some
atrocious.
Wade Phillips of the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, but the issue was his signature looked atrocious. It was the weakest part of the team was the defense the whole time. It's like, aren't you a defensive coordinator and your team you have the weakest part of the team?
Yeah, he is supposed to be a defensive mastermind. So, I mean, I'm not saying he isn't. Just may not come out to fruition when he's the head coach.
Coach, yeah. He just needs to specialize in just that.
Hey, I would love Brandon Staley as the Eagles defensive coordinator. I tell you that right now.
That bad.
You want everybody gone, so we'll wait till you get. We'll wait till
Yeah. I got some problems.
All right. So the person who won it is actually the Mountain. You got 2 of them. So you and the Mountain both, and D3 actually.
I got Chiefs, Broncos.
You guys all got Chiefs and Broncos. So there's a 3-way tie in this division.
I think I'm on the board now, so that's good. All right. So the NFC West standings were San Francisco 12-5, the Rams 10-7. Seahawks 9-8, Cardinals 4-13.
Oh, I got 4.
Yep.
I got all 4.
Dang, really? I got 2 on that one. 4. I think most people got at least 2. But I will say I had the records for this division almost perfect.
I was 1 off on the Rams and the Niners. What did the Seahawks end up with?
9-8.
I was 1 off on them too. How many Cardinals?
Yeah, I was 1 off on those 3 and the Cardinals. All of them, I was 1 off.
What was Cardinals record?
4-13.
Oh, I got that exactly right. Hell yeah.
But for this division, we of course knew the Rams would be the best, or not the Rams, the 49ers would be the best one. They got, they just had the best team.
Phil and I saw division, and the Rams, we saw division.
I had them at 9-8, so I saw the division. I didn't quite think
I had
them
them
at
11-6. I was close. I definitely had them in that playoff.
Playoffs all the way, baby.
I was close without going over.
Right.
I win.
Man, not everything has to follow Price is Right formula.
Yeah, playoffs all the way. Had all the faith in them. I was like, they're making it. Come on.
But for the Rams, they actually nailed a lot of the draft picks. And again, they haven't had top draft picks for years now, but they've done a good job with some of these mid-round picks. They had a 3rd-round DT get 9 sacks this year. Kyron Williams, he played well this year. He's a mid-round pick. And Matt Stafford, he looked pretty good this year. And Puka Nacua, of course. So they've been nailing these picks. So they've done a great job kind of rebuilding this team with limited resources. Well, and I want to add this just because I told Philip this yesterday, but just for this recording. In Week 18, my guy, Carson Wentz, beat his guy, Sam Darnold. I just wanted to put that out there.
Let's see full squad versus full squad, buddy. Let's see full squad versus full squad. Your guys versus my guys.
For the Seahawks,
well, we can keep talking about this.
Yeah, for the Seahawks, I think they kind of were what we thought. We knew Geno wasn't going to be as good. He still wasn't bad, and he still is way better than Geno Smith we ever thought he would be.
Yeah.
But we did see that they're kind of just a team that's going to be in the hunt, but they're never going to compete for the Super Bowl. So they're kind of on that level, kind of in the place you don't want to be. Do they do Geno? I think they're going to look to upgrade, and if they can't, they'll just fall back to that option.
Yeah, I mean, Geno's not bad, but I think you could.
I think for me, I think for me was the thing. Like, I felt last year was a fluke for Geno. He was not going to do it again. I know everybody was on it, like, oh, they got better. I don't care. I'm sorry. There's a reason he's been a backup, a career backup to this point. He ain't that good. Let's just be real. Like, people thought he was going to be better. They were going to be just as good. Like, it was a fluke last year. Their schedule's going to be harder. People are going to expect it this year. Nobody saw Geno doing that next year. Now, if I'm them, I think they look at a quarterback in the first round of see what they can get.
What they could do is draft someone like Michael Penix in the second, third round, develop him for a year behind Geno, and then see what you got. Because they don't have a high pick, so they'll have to trade a lot to get one of these good quarterbacks. And Penix is going to fall to the second round because he didn't do himself any favors yesterday. So that could be an option.
I definitely see that being an option. I agree with you, as I feel that's probably what they're going to end up doing. Cardinals did better than I thought they would.
I mean, the record is about what we thought, but we thought they would look a lot worse. So we got to give them credit.
Much better, especially on offense, than I thought they would.
Yeah, they were in quite a bit of games, especially not having Kyler Murray.
Think about it.
For the beginning part, they were not doing too bad.
Well, 4 of their wins: Cowboys, Eagles, Falcons, and Steelers. So they have 4 wins, 3 of them against teams with 10 wins or more.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. And on quite a bit of their games, they were in the game. They didn't just get blown out. Like, I thought they were going to get blown out a lot more than they did.
Yeah.
Their coordinator, good job. Their defensive coordinator, I mean, right now the Eagles probably wish he was back. He was still there. Right.
I mean,
sorry, we'll get to that later.
But for Cardinals, I still don't know for next year. I don't know how good they're going to be. They'll be better, but I still don't see them. I don't see them as a playoff team.
What do you do?
Not yet.
What do you do with them?
Well, I mean, they still got an all right pick.
If they somehow trade for, or they get Marvin Harrison Jr., then I get a little excited.
Yeah, because the first 3 could all be quarterbacks. Or even if they don't get Marvin Harrison, somebody gets them, they probably can, even if they can work it well, they can trade down, see if somebody's going to try and trade up to get a quarterback or something. I don't know, to get maybe Jaden Daniels or something. Not a bad division. Ended up like Vitamin J and I had it completely correct, but most of everybody had it like within reason of what it was going to be. All right, let's go into probably another one that we all bombed. We're going to go into the AFC North. All right, so everybody got the first one wrong because we all had the Bengals winning the division.
Hunter.
Max, can you say the order real quick?
So it was Baltimore 13-4, the Browns 11-6, Steelers 10-7, and then Bengals 9-8.
So Vitamin J, you are the only one who got a point.
And I will say I did predict that this one would be the best division of football, which I think a lot of us did. But I did, for my prediction, have every single one of these teams with a winning record, which is what happened.
I had the Browns at only 7 wins. I was way off.
I just finished Steelers will have a winning record because Mike Tomlin doesn't have losing seasons.
Exactly.
Hunter's the only one that didn't apparently know that. So.
Yeah, he had him last. It's like, no, Mike Tom. First of all, again, after last year, you should have learned the difference. That team had no business having a losing record. That team was trash last year.
This team shouldn't have 10 wins. This team is trash.
Yeah, but I felt last year's team was even worse than this.
Well, no, it is. It is. I agree. But I'm saying this team should not be in the playoffs ahead of some of these other teams. Like I think Jacksonville's better if they get their head out their ass. You know, I just don't think they're that good. But they have looked a lot better with Mason Rudolph. So if he is actually good now, which I have my doubts, then they could make some noise. But I'm still not going to do anything. But Tomlin is that guy, people. He knows how to coach.
Yep. Legend.
Yep.
As a fan, I would take 17 straight years of not having a losing record. Yeah,
maybe me being a Panthers fan, I can truly on the outside seeing someone like Tomlin, and I'm like, man, you Steelers fans are lucky.
Spoiled.
As a Panthers fan, I would kill for that.
Yep. He's been on point. So congratulations to Tom on really keeping on point.
But for the Ravens, I mean, this team, they may not statistically may not be the most impressive, at least on offense. But I mean, I believe they're 8-2 against teams with winning records this year, which winning 8 games against that kind of competition is almost unheard of for one season. And they've dominated top teams throughout the whole year. So I didn't think they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything. But I mean, the way they're playing,
they are beating the brakes off of people right now.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're playing, I mean, I'd be surprised that they didn't go to the Super Bowl.
I'd be very disappointed they lost their first playoff game. And then the Lamar, because you know what happened, the Lamar discussion would happen all over again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get there. I like Lamar, so I would like to see him win one. But for the Browns, to be 11-6, with all the stuff that happened to them this year, at least especially at the quarterback position,
yeah, that's nuts.
That's impressive.
Stefanski shut up a lot of haters. He shut
I
up a
had
lot
him
of
as
haters.
the coach being fired too. I was way off.
You weren't the only one. A lot of people said he was going to be fired, and he really shut up a lot of haters.
I didn't think so.
No, I know how to do my job. No, I know how to do my job. And Joe Flacco, what a comeback, man. I got to say, I'm hoping that somehow the Browns and Ravens meet each other in the playoff game, man. How great would that be?
Wouldn't it be funny if the Browns paid all this money for Deshaun Watson and it's Joe Flacco who ends up winning the Super Bowl for him?
Yeah, oh, God, that would be hilarious. That would be so hilarious. Then you get over it because, God, you won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're not upset as a Browns fan because you got a Super Bowl. It's like, Eagles, Nick Foles.
You'll take it however you get it.
All right, we're going to go into the other one, the NFC North.
Hunter was bullied. Oh, sorry. Sorry. The order is Detroit 12-5, Green Bay 9-8, Minnesota 7-10, Chicago 7-10.
I got Chicago. Let's go,
fellas. Did Green Bay do it again? What do you think?
I mean, Jordan Love did turn. It was improving towards the year.
I don't know why this is Green Bay if he turns into another stud.
I mean, if he does this again next year, I'd say, hey, if you throw 32 touchdown passes,
he'll be my favorite one because he'll be the only one that, as far as I know, is a good human being.
Well, you gotta wait. It took Rodgers years before people found that out.
I know.
Yeah, I gotta admit, like he did well. They also have some good studs. They did well with Christian was out pretty much was out for a good amount, missed a lot of games. But Jalen Reed, Dubes was still a good player.
They have a solid receiving core. If they continue to grow, we'll see.
Very young team. I think they might be I'm pretty sure they're the youngest team in the playoffs this year. But I mean, if they hit on these receiver picks, the tight end pick they had, and Jordan Love, I mean, this team, they're going to see them compete with Detroit for top of the division. And with Detroit, I mean, with Sam Laporta out, that's tough. But
that sucks for them, dude. And I'd love to. Of course, the scriptwriters had to have Lions versus Rams, Stafford facing his old team.
And the scriptwriters are very lazy. You got Green Bay facing Dallas, so Mike McCarthy.
But I think in the end, we gotta give it up. Lions, like Hunter and I, had pretty good confidence that they would be
in the playoffs,
winning that division just because of that offense.
Jared Goff had a good year.
Yeah, well, here was the thing. Like the thing with the Vikings, I still thought they'd make playoffs, but I knew they would regress because they won it was like some crazy stat. They won like 13 or like it was double-digit one-score games. And it was a lot of games that could have gone either way that they got lucky, and I felt it would kind of go back that they weren't going to win that many. They were going to come back down a little bit. But, yeah, they go. So, I mean, the team still saw because Kirk got hurt. They had Jefferson got hurt for a good while, too.
Yeah, and he still got 1,000 yards. That is nuts, dude.
Oh, yeah. They did get some good news that Kirk Cousins is willing to take a pay cut to stay with the team. So that could be kind of good news because
he sees that he gets to throw to T.J. Hockenson, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and good job to them. Oh, the one thing we did forget to mention with the Chargers. How do you feel that you took the one receiver? You took Johnson, who was just a bum. Yeah. And you could have picked several other guys that all were good. You picked the wrong receiver. Is what it's looking like so far. Maybe he turns it around, but so far it's like you picked the wrong guy.
my team would never. I mean, could you imagine this scenario where you would take Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson?
At least y'all finally
that would never happen.
At least y'all finally got one in Devonta Smith.
And then they traded for AJ Brown. At least they made up. But at the time,
Justin Jefferson.
I hear you. But you got AJ Brown. You got him.
And for the Bears, though, let's talk about them. What about Justin Fields? What did the Bears do?
Yeah.
I
think they draft Caleb Williams.
I would. Justin Fields has not proven to me anything. He is his record as a starter. I know he hasn't had the best situation.
Yeah, he at least won this year. He got some wins this year.
His completion percentage is not good enough that I feel good enough to really be like, okay, yeah. If I'm the Bears, because I still believe you can get a late first-round pick for him, Justin Fields. Somebody will bite on that.
I think so.
And say the talent is there because he's shown enough that there's like somebody can convince himself the talent is there and put a better offense around him.
Yeah, but yeah, if I'm the Bears, I would just move on because one, you only have 2 more years on his rookie deal. Oh well, one be the 5th-year extension. So I would just start fresh with Caleb Williams. Yeah, because with them, Fields, he's 10-28 with the Bears. Again, it's not just him, but it's just he hasn't shown enough to where I'm comfortable using all my resources to build around him. I think I'd rather build around someone else.
I mean, you could trade him and get even more draft capital. So
that's what I'm saying. So I think I would build. I have more confidence that I could build around Caleb Williams than I can around Justin Fields.
You still have DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, who's pretty solid. Their Herbert did pretty well.
I think Fields would be a great fit for the Falcons.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but I think Kirk Cousins would be an even better fit for that team.
But did they want? We'll see.
I don't think Kirk wants to leave though.
We'll see what other team.
No, I don't think so.
Seattle could do
so.
well.
I agree with
Seattle. Justin Fields, that could work if they want to. If they want to.
If you can go to Seattle.
So we're gonna go into the AFC East.
That was Buffalo 11-6, Dolphins 11-6. Jets 7-10, Patriots 4-13.
Yeah, that is a clean sweep, fellas.
Oh, I got all 4 in that one too. Nice.
Yeah, Bobby.
How many wins did the Patriots get? You said
4.
Yeah, I got nailed that. I nailed them and the Dolphins record.
I was the only. Oh,
so
it's because you know why that is, Philip? It's because
you put Miami, didn't you?
Buffalo.
Didn't you have
Miami?
He
doubted Buffalo.
Didn't you have Miami
I had
first?
Miami. No, I had Miami, and then I knew mine was screwed because I had Miami. Then I had the Jets with Rodgers.
No.
Which, again, that was the injury. Once the injury happened, I was screwed. I was like, that kills that pick. I wasn't sure. I didn't even have Bills making playoffs this year. I didn't believe in them. I thought the offseason drama was going to carry over. Well, and here's the thing. I thought the Jets were going to be better and outtaken for second seed. So then they would be bumped to third. And I thought I still had them, I was still thinking winning record. But because they'd be third seed, because the Jets would bump them, they were going to lose on a tiebreaker.
You always got next year, Phil. You got next year.
It was looking good for a good while where the Dolphins had that division. Then
they choked.
Yeah.
Fraud alert, Dolphins. Fraud alert.
Yeah, big time.
I know, especially after they scored that 70-point game. I'm like, man, this team's rolling. On the Bills, this is probably one of your best opportunities to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta get through Baltimore.
I just don't know. I just don't know if they can beat Baltimore.
Because Baltimore is gonna take advantage of every turnover opportunity. They've done it all year.
And Josh Allen will give you some.
Josh Allen's going to have to be the good Josh Allen, not the good great to beat the Baltimore Ravens.
He had over 20 turnovers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
You don't have Kansas City to go through. You don't have to worry about the Bengals, which those two teams have thwarted them in the last couple playoffs and been bad for them. So it's like this might be there's a year you need to win or do something. This probably is the year because you got a couple teams that are not coming back and being the same that I don't think you're going to keep thwarting.
Yeah, the AFC is going to be tough for a while.
Yeah, my Patriots.
Good. Hey, they're going to be loving it when we do a draft recap and you get Drake May.
Hey, you got a good draft pick. You found out Mac Jones is definitely not the answer. You learned that Bailey Zappi is also definitely not the answer. You're definitely going quarterback this draft. You just better hope you don't get Drake May because we'll do this in our predictions. But Phil and I'm sure most of us are going to say Drake May's not going to be good.
No. And here's the thing that I'm just keep banking on is that Chicago's going to take Caleb. So then Washington also has to take a quarterback. They're going to take Drake May.
They could. I think
they're taking a quarterback because they
could go Jaden. They could go Jaden.
I really hope because I'm hoping Jaden. I'm fine with taking Jaden.
I would want Jaden if I was New England. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the second best in that class. So if you're not going to get Caleb, I'm fine with taking Jaden, unless rumors are true and maybe they can trade up and Chicago actually doesn't want their pick.
God, that'd be nice if they were able to trade up the one and get Caleb. Dang, I would hate you. Hate you living in.
Yep, then we'll be back. Oh, you don't want to hear my mouth and that when we do our draft recap. You don't want to hear my mouth. If Drake May gets picked, I might not be on that one. You guys can film that yourselves. I'm not talking. All right, let's talk about that last division, which we all did pretty bad on.
I don't want to talk about this damn division.
We're talking about the NFC East.
Yeah, you get the Cowboys at 12-5. You get the Eagles who choked the division away like bums. 11-6. Giants 6-11. Commanders 4-13.
I got two.
But let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles. Yeah, I'm just telling you right now. Here's a bold take: if the Eagles lose this game against Tampa Bay, Nick Sirianni is gone out of here. I think I think the way this season ended, and I've been watching them all year, they have not played one complete game, and it's been frustrating to see this coaching staff hold this team back because offensively they have the players. The scheme this year has been atrocious from the get-go. Running tight end screens with Devontae Smith as your lead blocker should get you fired on the spot. So the fact that Brian Johnson is still there upsets me. I want a clean sweep of the offensive coaching staff. And if Nick Sirianni does not want to fire Brian Johnson after this year, then he can go too. I appreciate Nick Sirianni. It's hard to say because he's been to the playoffs 3 straight years. He's coached the team to those. So I know he's not bad, but this is the first year without Shane Steichen as his offensive coordinator and Jonathan Gannon as his defensive coordinator, and the team got a lot worse. And they can't seem to stop.
So 11 games.
But they
were like 10-1.
They were 1-5 in their last 6 games.
And it's bad losses. They got losses to the Cardinals. Yeah. They got, I know it's last game of the season. They got blown out by the
lost
Giants.
to Seattle.
Lost to Seattle. And that was late, too. Didn't they lose that game late? Lost to the Jets.
They got whooped by San Fran and Dallas after the Buffalo game. So if the coaching staff is not going to be there to turn the team around, then obviously when things get tough, Nick Sirianni isn't going to be the guy to turn it around. So I think if they lose this game, I think I would just clean sweep it and start it fresh.
Someone says I saw a line of people says like the curse for what he did after the Chiefs game.
It seems like it. So that's my rant on them. I've seen some people question Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is still the guy. I think he's still a top 10 quarterback. I think he was held back severely by this atrocious scheme. I know some of y'all have watched these Eagles games and see they don't play. The offense doesn't make any sense. One, they use the least amount of motion in the league, and they have players to do it. So the fact that you don't have motion in a motion league, look at the top offense in San Francisco, Miami. They use a ton of it. You got to do it in this day and age. And the fact they use it the least with these weapons, I'm telling you, this is a coach malpractice is what they're doing.
They still did all right with the hard schedule. But yeah, a lot of it came down to coaching.
It's fine to say, but recently, in the past 2 months, it's a troubling trend with the team. It's very troubling.
I even remember
I'm saying the coaching. It was the coaching. And here's the thing about the Eagles that you also got to realize with a lot of teams of why I might be quicker to pull the trigger on Sirianni. You're a desirable destination. You don't think that a John Harbaugh or Ben Johnson don't look at that team and be like, whoa, I got that offense, Jalen Hurts. I just need a defensive coordinator, and that defense I can probably get that. That defensive D-line did not make sense with the talent it had on it.
Exactly.
It should have been a lot better.
They got the least. I think they're near the bottom of the league in pressure, and that's atrocious. The amount of resources they put in that D line. I'm telling you.
I remember when they were
defensive coaches are gone.
I remember when they were 10-1, and even though they were 10-1, you said, "Well, this team's got a lot of problems." I don't know.
There's a lot of.
There were a lot of close games they shouldn't have had. I remember that.
Yeah, they have not dominated one game. The closest one they did was the Tampa Bay game earlier in the year. That's the only one they had like a comfortable lead, but it still wasn't that comfortable because Tampa Bay could have come back in the fourth quarter, but they stopped them. But still, they had not had one.
Also, I was going to say Philly fans are not known for their patience. No. That's why I also kind of believe you that he could get fired, is because Philly's not known for having
they fired Doug
Peterson quicker, and he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl for them, and they said no.
If you get stomped too,
how many years after the Super Bowl did he get fired?
He got fired after 2020, I believe. So 3 years.
County has not won one, and teams look.
Yeah. Usually you get 5, but But for Dallas, this is another time where this is one of their best shots to win. They essentially only have to go through San Fran. We all assume that those two are the top 2 by far in the NFC right now. So if they don't do it this year, you got to question, are they going to do it again?
Well, also they're gonna be another one that you lose Dan Quinn after this year. I think somebody's getting a head coaching job. He honestly could have probably got one last year, but he wanted to come back. I think this year he leaves. Dan Quinn might even consider the Eagles, but yeah. There's also the rumors from Cowboy Nation about the curse because now Jimmy Johnson's in the Ring of Honor. So yeah, this is definitely a year that if you don't do it this year, you really gonna do it? Because do you expect the NFC to keep this bad? I think the Eagles will bounce back.
I think the Eagles will get back, but I'm saying, I do think this Dallas team, if I just take out the Dallas-ness that they do every year in the playoffs, they do have potential to get there. But they just I can't.
I think they're playing well at the right time too for Dallas. That's what's making people.
Well, my thing is still like them versus winning teams. Have they proven that they can beat a winning team?
Dak has been playing pretty well. Yeah, the thing for Dallas is if another team's able to shut down CD, what would that do?
The good thing for them is they play at home this week. They're 8-0 at home. They are 4-5 on the road. So
yeah, that's where you're gonna. That's why again, 49ers start becoming. Again, would I be totally surprised if they lost this week to the Packers? Not really. I'll be like,
I'd be pretty surprised. I'd be pretty surprised. I don't think the Packers are. Maybe they have Rodgers. Maybe.
I also would be surprised.
Maybe I just think again the Dallas has shown me years and years ago. Now, do I think they're going to win? Yes. Would I be completely surprised? No, because I still think Dallas is Dallas. They are who they are. Because I think that one. I mean, Detroit game. I will give them that was probably one of their better defense stands, though. It's still Detroit should have won.
They got gifted. They got gifted that game.
Yeah, that was the whole mess. But yeah, I mean, this is the year. Giants, them and the Bills. You're really starting to think like, dude, there's a year. This is probably the year we got to do it. Otherwise, we're not. It's not going to be an easy road next year. NFC East also keeps up the yearly tradition of nobody can repeat in that division.
19 straight. Eagles had a great opportunity to win it. Could have been easy, but they choked that away so bad.
What?
Sad part is they actually gave themselves an easier game versus.
I know,
but they've been so bad. It's like, you even trust it again. They're another team. Would I be really shocked if they lost to the Bucs?
I have no confidence. No confidence in this team.
I still would because I think the Bucs are still pretty booty.
They're bad, but it's just that defense keeps letting.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Eagles have been losing to teams like the Cardinals.
So now I'll go ahead and look through everybody's placement. All right. The scores have been calculated. And the winner of the first ever inaugural regular season prediction game is Hunter with 17 points, edging out Vitamin J and D3 both with 16 points.
Damn, that sucks.
By 1 point. Congratulations, Hunter, getting the most right, 17. Vitamin J and D3 got 16. I got 13, and Max got 12.
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah.
You probably watched the most football. It's always like when I do the worst March Madness bracket, and I watch the most college basketball.
Till next time, if you want to play along next year, go ahead and see how you do versus us. And then we'll go through it at the end of the year and see what all happened. Now we got some terms. So next year, we'll think better. Hopefully our predictions will be a lot better than this year. Let us know your thoughts on the season. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
Bobby J.
And may the discussions begin. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.